story, one of your first literary projects was translating your own father's novel, Wave of Terror. What prompted you to undertake that project?
Well, during his lifetime, some of his books were published in Buenos Aires, New York, Toronto later on, but all in Ukrainian. And then, I don't know, sometime in my 20s, I said, okay, that's it. I have to find out about my dad. I have to find out what he was writing about. I have no idea. So I sat down, I got this big fat dictionary, which I brought in from Eastern Europe. And then I started translating. I went word for word for word. And then all of a sudden, people started emerging in his work. Panoramas, I saw incredible panoramas. And then all of a sudden, like there's this whole history was in the making. Like it was World War II, basically. So I was getting this firsthand account of what was going on in his part of the world. And when I did Wave of Terror, that's exactly when Stalin invaded. And he wrote about the invasion of Stalin and how people coped with life. And so I took a pen to in my hand, and I played around with a word, and then I played around with another word. And then all of a sudden I kept just playing around with his words and putting them into English. And before I knew it, there I was translating.
What a labor of love and discovery. And when did you start writing your own fiction?
I was on Facebook or on Goodreads, one of them. And there was this writer, I forget her name, but she said, hello, today I wrote a story in a day. That's what she said. And I read it and I thought, she wrote a story in a day. And I thought to myself, well, if she can write a story in a day, I can certainly write a story in a day.
The Bank Street Peeper is a novel of linked stories set on the street where you grew up in Toronto. Did the idea for the book start with the setting or with the character of Reginald Rutley?
I think it started mostly not with Reginald and not with the street, but like with the people. It's fiction, but some of the people in the story they actually existed. But you know, they can exist, but you still have to build a story around them. So, you know, so that happened in that way.
Reginald Rutley is an odd man and a social outcast who has a habit of peeping in his neighbor's windows, searching for a sense of belonging. Yet the book is charming, and both the story and Reginald do grow on the reader. Is that contrast something that you set out to accomplish? And how did you approach writing about Reginald?
He had to be an outcast because I wanted him in the background, kind of, because the focus was neighborhood, you know, and the love of a neighborhood and how this neighborhood is held together. If he's a popular kind of guy, you know, like he would have a life and he wouldn't really have to find a life through others. That was my thinking in that. And originally I wasn't sure what I should do. Like I thought I could do short stories because it would lend itself to short stories because each chapter is kind of like a short story, but I didn't want to use that format. And a novel, if I made it into a novel 100%, then it would be too cluttered, you know, with all these people, right? And it would just kind of, I don't know, just get too jumbled. So then I thought, okay, I'll just find the guy, you know, who peeps through windows, and through him, we could find out what's going on. And that way, it's not really short stories and it's not a whole jumbled up novel. And, but then I had a problem because Reginald can see what's going on, but then I can't explain what the characters are thinking because I'm doing everything through him. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do? And then I thought, okay, I'll just say he can read people's minds. It was as simple as that. I think the main thing that I think of is humor. You know, like I have to inject it somewhere along the line. I don't know why, but it's just there. And when I did some writing in when I was in high school, I remember that it was always, there was an element of humor. And I noticed too in my dad's writing too, there's, you know, as bleak as the history was, you know, of occupation and oppression and all that, there's always a sense of humor. And I don't know if it's something that's genetic in me, because every Eastern European, for example, you know, because of the censorship and, you know, the oppression, they always have to have humor.